Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. So I would like to talk about something that happened over the weekend. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and she happened. I had a small party at my house, and I invited her. And normally, one on one, we get along quite well. So I invited her, and I told her, okay, yeah, so I'll be having this small get together for some ladies. Um, and I wanted her to come, and she was like, "So who will be there?" And I was like, "Well, so far, I told her the names of the people who got confirmed, and she was like, I don't even know those people." Then I was like, "Well, yeah, it would be a great chance for you to get to know them." And then she says, "Okay." And then she sends me a message later and says, "You know what? I've thought about it, and to be honest, I just can't come because I don't really like hanging out with Kenyans." Um, so I mean, I'm Kenyan, so I've kind of felt okay. So what makes me different? But I know where she's coming from. A few years ago, I went through a period where things were not working out for me, and I felt like Kenyans had let me down. Honestly, I just felt like I was all alone, um, and nothing was was happening the way it should happen, and nobody was there to help me through it. And it just felt so lonely and horrible. And then I got went through a few years of actually seriously feeling disgusted by the entire community. I seriously lumped everybody in the entire community, and I felt really bad, and I felt really betrayed because for me, I was like, where were these people? People knew what I well, there are few people who knew what I was going through. They were mean. They all they did was gossip. And so at some point I deliberately I reached a point where I realized, listen, sometimes when you say a joke, you need somebody who can understand that joke without you having to explain the joke. Or if you're complaining about something, you need someone who can get the context with you without you having to put the context in, which means people who have some background of where you are from. So I started looking, one by one, I just started adding a few people, a few Kenyans in my cycle. And one of the things that I noticed is for many of them, when I mentioned how I felt betrayed by Kenyans, many of them had no clue, or at least they knew what I had gone through, but they didn't know the exact thing that I had gone through. And when I thought about it, I hadn't really gone to anybody. Well, I had gone to a few people and asked for help, but I hadn't I asked a few people for help. They did not. And then I just put everybody in the same. I didn't keep asking for help, right? So not everybody knew what I was going through. Most people actually thought that I was just fine. And they were just in their own moods. Anyway, so slowly by slowly things started, you know, um, developing. And at some point, I remember I started having like close friends who are Kenyans, and it started, and we were talking, and so many of them, people have gone through what I thought I had gone through hell and been betrayed by people. But there are people who have really been betrayed, but they did not cut off the entire community. So at some point, I sat down and had a meeting with myself, and I told myself, listen here, Mercy, this person cut you off, this person betrayed you, it does not mean the entire community did betrayed you. Just learn to know who to trust. Number two, nobody owes you anything. I came here by myself. Quite a number of people came here by themselves. So if I want to help you, that's my prerogative. It's not something that you can force on me or say, and then you go and say, oh, Kenyans just sit and gossip. Now, listen, one number one, we're also a Kenyan, just like all those other Kenyans who sit down and gossip. And then the funny thing is, you will go to sit down with, let's say, for example, now you're Kenyan, you decide, no, my friends are only going to be Ugandans or Nigerians. You go sit down with Ugandans or Nigerians, then they're also saying the same thing about their community. They're saying, oh, me, I don't associate with Ugandans because Ugandans are gossipers, they never help anybody. Then you go to Nigerians and they say the exact same thing. Oh, I don't like associating with Nigerians. So you're all these people who everybody is wrong except you. And the truth is, nobody can be everything to you. And you cannot expect everybody. When you're busy saying how somebody has been mean and how Kenyans don't help, ask yourself, how many Kenyans have I helped? How many people have I done this for to help? Just ask yourself that. What have I done to improve the situation? You know, if you have not helped anybody, then you have zero rights to talk about how anybody has helped anybody. Oh, when I was looking for a job, nobody ever helped me to find a job. Now, you got a job, right? How many people have you helped to find a job? Or did you realize the difficulties in getting jobs? Because sometimes you look like, oh, people are helping each other get jobs, right? And then you get a job through your own channels, and then you realize that, helping somebody to get a job is not that easy, because either you don't have enough of the connections, or two, your connections are not strong enough, or three, you just don't know where to start without it looking like nepotism, right? So there are quite a lot of things that you discover. But when you learned this, did you go back and reevaluate yourself, or are you just the exception? Everybody else could have helped, but I am the exception. I don't need to help anybody. Anyway, once you learn that in this world nobody owes you anything and everything that people do for you is a bonus, then your life will be golden, and you will not be as disappointed as you would be if you continue expecting people to come through for you. So I pray that this is going to be a year 2022. Let it be a year where you actually stop alienating entire groups of people because of what one or two people did or did not do for you.